This is Andrew, and I've got something to tell you. Something the insurance companies don't want you to know about. That little old lady who ran the red light and who hurt all those people that you've been sitting in the jury and watching the trial for, she has insurance. That's right, she has insurance, and the insurance companies don't want you to know about it. So it's become a rule of law, and you didn't hear about it during the whole trial, and you're probably wondering about that. I'm here to blow the lid off and tell you she's got insurance. So I know now you're feeling sympathy for her. She's as sweet as can be. She's just this little old lady. She's a widow. She's a retired school teacher, and you're wondering, how can I put a judgment on her? How can I make it so that, how's she going to pay this money back if I give this huge judgment? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you. She has insurance. And I'm going to tell you how you know. I'm going to tell you how I know and how you'll know. So the first thing I want to tell you is that pretty much all attorneys, when it's an accident case, they work on a contingency basis. And so what that means is they're not paid anything until there's a settlement or there's a verdict for that plaintiff. The second thing I wanted to tell you is that it takes hundreds, if not thousands of hours to get to that trial. Even though it may only take a day or two or three, it represents hundreds, if not thousands of hours of work on both sides, on the attorneys on both sides. Now, if you think about an attorney doing work for $100 an hour, $200, $300 an hour, and it's 100, 200, 300 hours worth of work, or thousands of hours worth of work, we're talking about tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to trial. Okay? Nobody can afford that. Only big corporations can afford that. So that's how I want you to know that that attorney is working on a contingency fee basis. And the next thing you got to understand is that an attorney who's suing on a contingency fee basis, and he's spending hundreds, if not thousands of hours, and he's putting his money in, and he's putting his time in, and it's going to take, by the time you see that trial, you hear about this crash. That crash occurred 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago. He spent 2, 3, 4 years working on this case without receiving any compensation. So why am I telling you that? Because you got to understand that at the end of the day, that attorney is hoping to get paid. He's not going to sue somebody who doesn't have insurance, right? It only makes sense. That little old lady, she has insurance, because otherwise that attorney wouldn't be there. So now you know the truth. The truth is that if you're sitting in a jury for a trial where somebody was injured, the defendant has insurance. I don't care whether it's a car accident or a restaurant being sued because they didn't lock the stairs and somebody behind a doorway and somebody fell down. They have insurance. I want you to know that, because you're going to be wondering that while you're sitting there deliberating, why you never heard any mention of insurance. The insurance companies have done a good job of keeping that out, and so you won't hear about it. But now you know the truth.